Hello and welcome to my channel. Here we learn the lore and stories of the world of Tyria. Today we will learn about all the zones introduced in Path of Fire, as well as follow the commander's journey through them. This video will be a compilation of all the separate POF zone videos, similar to the one I did for Heart of Thorns. As always, you can find the full lore on each zone on the official Guild Wars 2 wiki. Let's begin. After the fall of Mordremoth and the chaos unleashed by the Bloodstone explosion, Tyria was wounded, its balance shaken. Wild magic surged through the land like a storm without a captain. Elder dragons stirred, ancient powers shifted. But while many watched the skies and worried about dragons, a different threat returned, one born not of nature, but of flame and fury. Balthazar, the god of war and fire, had come back, but not as a protector, not as a savior. He had been cast out by the other gods, and now he had only one goal: to destroy the elder dragon Kralkatorrik and claim its power. If he succeeded, the world would be torn apart. The commander set off to investigate. Strange magical disturbances were being reported in the Crystal Desert, the northern edge of Elona, a land long hidden behind sand and politics. The Pact commander boarded Captain Ellen Keel's airship and flew south. Their destination, Amnoon, the last free city in northern Elona. The first sight of the Crystal Desert was striking. Golden dunes, jagged cliffs, ancient ruins, and a vast sky touched by magic. The desert seemed endless, heavy with stories and scars from wars long past. But peace did not greet them. The airship soon spotted smoke, thick, black, and rising from a nearby village not far from Amnoon's walls. The commander and the crew descended to investigate. What they found was devastation. The Forged, soldiers of living metal and fire, had attacked. Homes were burning, people were fleeing, the ground cracked with molten scars. And above it all stood a terrible figure, the Herald of Balthazar. She was once a human, now twisted by divine fire. Clad in blazing armor, she delivered Balthazar's will with unrelenting fury. The commander fought her back, but the damage was done. The village was nearly lost. Survivors spoke in fear of a god returned, and a war that had already begun. After the fight, the commander continued to Amnoon. The city stood like a mirage against the sea. White stone, shaded palms, and colorful awnings flapped in the wind. It was beautiful, but tense. Refugees were arriving from inland. Fear was spreading. Amnoon's leaders were struggling to keep the city neutral. They debated alliances, with Palavajoko's empire, with the Sun Spears, or with none at all. The commander arrived not just as a hero, but as a sign that something far greater was at stake. With first-hand knowledge of Balthazar's presence and the Forged threat, the commander now had a clear goal. Track Balthazar across the Crystal Desert, discover his plan, and stop him before he could destroy Kralkatorrik. But this desert was not empty. It held old ruins and older secrets. Magic slept beneath the sand, and war, true war, was returning to Elona. The hunt for a god had begun, and the fire was only beginning to spread. The Crystal Oasis, the gateway to Elona. When the Pact commander steps into the vast land of Elona for the first time, it is here in the Crystal Oasis that their journey truly begins. This region sits like a shining jewel at the northern edge of the Great Crystal Desert. The air here holds the faint scent of both salt from the sea and dry sand carried by the desert winds. It's a place where the world seems to shift, from the gentle green coastlines to the harsh, endless dunes beyond. The Crystal Desert is more than just a crossing point. It's a land of contrasts. Bright sunlight reflects off golden sands and the sparkling desert stones. At the same time, patches of life cling to oases and small villages, showing that even in this harsh world, hope and civilization persist. Amnoon, the free city. At the heart of this lively land is Amnoon, a proud city standing tall against the dangers surrounding it. Amnoon is no ordinary place. It has managed to remain free and independent, protected by the strength and will of its people. The Amnoon Council rules here, guiding the city through uncertain times. In the busy streets of Amnoon, merchants call out their wares in a bustling bazaar, filled with colors, scents, and sounds from all over Elona. The harbor hums with activity as ships arrive from distant lands, carrying traders and travelers seeking fortune and adventure. Near the shore, the Amnoon Casino glimmers with excitement, where locals and visitors alike try their luck. Amnoon stands as a beacon of life and trade, a rare safe harbor in a land full of danger. The Bay of Elon. To the northwest, the Bay of Elon stretches out where the desert meets the sea. Its sandy beaches offer calm waters and a moment of peace. Sailors and fishermen use this bay as their gateway to the wider world, and the gentle waves hide secrets beneath their surface, ruins and relics from a time long past. The Bay of Elon reminds travelers that beyond the desert's edge lies a vast and mysterious world waiting to be discovered. Notable landmarks and hidden corners. Far from the city's hustle, the land tells stories of its own. In the northwestern reaches lies Seeker Village, tucked within the ruins of the sinking ruins area. This small mining town clings to the desert's edge, carved from stone and sand. Here, the commander meets the people who call this harsh place home. It's also here that the commander is gifted the first mount, the swift and fierce Raptor. With the Raptor saddle purchased from the village trader Akshim, the commander's travels gain new speed and freedom, a vital companion in the vast desert. A little to the east of the oasis, the ancient temple of Cormyr stands proud. Dedicated to the goddess of truth and wisdom, it is a place of reverence amid the surrounding wilderness. Its weathered stones whisper tales of faith and hope, standing as a reminder of Elona's deep spiritual roots. Beneath the waves near Amnoon lie the old Amnoon ruins, the remains of the original city, now partially swallowed by the sea. Exploring these submerged streets reveals echoes of the past and the struggles that shaped the city. You can also find several forged camps throughout the oasis. Some are smaller, but there are tales of a massive camp in the eastern reaches of the oasis. These camps are filled with forged soldiers, and if the commander is feeling it, they can attempt to clear them out to protect the villagers nearby. Dangers lurking in the desert. Despite its beauty, the Crystal Oasis is no safe haven. Dark forces threaten its fragile peace. The most fearsome among them are the Forged, Balthasar's relentless army of metal soldiers. Led by the dreaded Herald of Balthasar, they sweep across the desert like a storm, crushing all who stand in their way. In the shadows, the Awakened, followers of the ancient tyrant Palavajoko, move like a poison spreading across the land, seeking to bring death and ruin to all who resist their master's will. Throughout the region, the commander encounters many challenges, defending outposts, helping frightened villagers, and battling these relentless enemies. The desert tests every skill, every decision. A land to explore and master. But the Crystal Oasis is not just about danger. It's a place filled with secrets and opportunities. The commander can seek out hero challengers scattered across the land, proving their strength and learning new skills. Points of interests and mastery insights offer knowledge and power, helping the commander growing and stronger. And among the sands lie the bleached bones, remnants of forgotten creatures and heroes, waiting to tell their stories to those willing to listen. The Crystal Oasis is the beginning of a grand tale, a place where history and mystery meet, where hope shines against the backdrop of an unforgiving desert. Here, the Pack Commander takes the first steps into a world filled with wonder, danger, and the promise of adventure. The sands whisper, the crystals glow, and the story of Elona unfolds. The desert Highlands, a land of cliffs and secrets. Far above the rolling dunes of the Crystal Oasis lies a higher, rougher land, the desert Highlands. Wind cuts across wide plateaus, tall cliffs rise like stone walls, canyons twist like dried rivers, and lonely towers stand watch over empty valleys. This place feels old, wild, quiet. The Highlands were once part of Elona's proud heartland, but time and war changed it. Now it's a place of survivors, plants that grow in stone cracks, people who live off thin land, and secrets that sleep under dust. To explore the desert highlands, you must go up. Almost every path leads to a ledge, a wall, or a rocky stair. Mounts like the Springer are not just helpful, they are your lifeline. The Springer's powerful legs let the commander leap up where no human could climb. From the high ridges, the view is breathtaking. You can see across the desert, past broken ruins and strange lights. But each climb is a challenge. Some paths are narrow, some jumps are long. The land doesn't give up its secrets easily. Lifeblood Falls, a miracle in the rocks. One of the most surprising places in the Highlands is Lifeblood Falls. Hidden among the stone is a tall waterfall, clear, cool water pouring down from the rocks. Around it, green plants grow thick. Animals come to drink. It feels like a sacred place, untouched by fire or war. This is one of the few peaceful places in the Highlands. Many travelers stop here to rest, and some stay to study the water's magic. In a land so dry, Lifeblood Falls is a treasure. Old places, ruins and wonders. The desert highlands is full of ruins, some ancient, some broken in more recent times. These places are scattered across cliffs, canyons and plateaus. Derelict Delve is a deep cavern once made by the dwarves, now abandoned. It hums with danger. Sunderland's crater glows faintly at night. Long ago, something powerful struck the earth here. Some say it was magic, some say something fell from the sky. Whatever it is, the land still remembers. High Jump Ranch, home of the Springer. Tucked into a rocky corner of the map is High Jump Ranch, a simple outpost where kind people raise Springer mounts. They feed them, train them, and help travelers bond with them. The commander came here and helped the ranchers, earning the trust of a Springer. From then on, the Springer became a partner, helping the commander reach new heights, both in land and in journey. This place feels warm despite the dry wind. It's a reminder that kindness still grows in hard places. Forged Presence, enemies in the dust. Even in this quiet land, danger burns. The Forged, Balthasar's army of fire and metal, has moved into the highlands. Their camps sit like scars across the cliffs. Their soldiers patrol roads and attack villages. Where they walk, the earth turns black and hot. They fight without mercy. The air around them smells of smoke and molten metal. The commander must choose when to strike and when to sneak by. These are not simple enemies. They are fanatics, built for war, driven by a god's fury. Floating Mystery, the city above. At night, something strange can sometimes be seen above the highlands, a ghostly outline of a city in the sky. It glows faintly like stars caught in a net. It's not a trick, the city is real, it floats far above the cliffs. Only reachable with the elusive Jackal Mount. Inside, it holds strange structures and powerful magic. No one fully understands it, but like many things in the Highlands, it is old, and it has not forgotten the past. The Tomb of the Primeval Kings. High up in the cliffs of the desert highlands, hidden among the winding paths and sandstone ridges, lies a sacred and ancient place, the Tomb of the Primeval Kings. Long ago, this tomb was built to honor the rulers of one of Elona's earliest dynasties, the Primeval Kings, who once brought order and culture to a young and growing Elona. The tomb is grand but quiet. Its stone halls echo with the past. Statues of ancient kings stand watch, and golden lights flicker softly as if the tomb still remembers their glory. The Tomb of the Primeval Kings is more than a resting place. It's a bridge between past and present. It reminds the commander, and anyone who enters, that Elona's strength was always in its people, its rulers, and its will to endure. A place of memory. The desert highlands is not only a place to cross, it's a place to learn. The rocks whisper stories, the ruins keep watch, the wind remembers every footstep, every battle, every cry. To walk this land is to feel its history. It is rough, it is quiet, but for those brave enough to climb its cliffs, the Highlands offer beauty, power, and truth. The journey continues. After arriving in Amnoon and helping defend the city from the Forged, the Pact Commander begins searching for the truth behind Balthazar's return. Clues lead to whispers of a powerful being named Vlast, the first scion of the crystal dragon Glint. Balthazar is hunting Vlast, hoping to use him as a weapon to destroy Kralkatorrik and claim its power. The commander must stop him. With allies like Ritlock, Casimir, Kanak and the Elonian broker Selembor, the commander follows a new lead north, toward the desert highlands. Selembor uses his connections to uncover a hidden portal near the Temple of Cormyr, and the commander steps through it, moving deeper into Elona. Once in the highlands, the commander quickly learns that Blast is near, and in danger. Balthazar's Forged are already in the region, pushing forward in their hunt. Blast tries to stay ahead of them, but their numbers are growing. The commander follows Blast's trail, working with allies and tracking the signs he leaves behind: shattered crystal, broken ground, and traces of Glint's magic. The commander finally catches up to Blast, but so does Balthazar. There is no time to fight, no chance to escape. Blast makes a choice. To stop Balthazar from stealing his power, Blast sacrifices himself. His body shatters into pure crystal. The land shakes with the impact. The commander watches as his light fades. But Blast leaves behind a message hidden inside his crystals. A vision, a memory. In it, he speaks to the commander. He explains why he ran, what he feared, and what he hoped for. He believes the commander is the one who can protect Glint's legacy and stop Balthazar before it's too late. Now, with Blast gone, Balthazar grows more dangerous. His forged army spreads wider, his rage burns hotter. But the commander is no longer just chasing him. Now, they carry the purpose that Blast left behind. The path is clear. Go deeper into Elona and stop a god before the world breaks apart. Long ago, this land was nothing but dust and stone. The wind howled through the dry canyons, and only the strongest could live here. But then, everything changed. The river came. It did not come by nature's will. It was shaped by the magic and command of a ruler, Palawajoko, the undead king of Elona. He had bent the river Elon northward, stealing it from Vabbi. His reasons were cruel, meant to weaken his enemies. But the river itself did not care. It simply flowed where it was told. And with it came life. Now the land breathes again. The river cuts through the golden sands, turning dry earth into green. Palm trees and reeds grow thick along the water's edge. Animals gather, drinking from the riverbanks. People too, refugees, travelers and farmers have returned. They set up camps and small homes along the water, hoping for peace. The Elon Riverlands became a place of hope in a land once forgotten. Ghosts of the past. But the past is not quiet here. Hundreds of years ago, in a time of faith and desperation, pilgrims walked into this desert. They followed a dream, the hope that they could ascend to something greater. They believed the gods had left them a path. That path led to Augury Rock, a strange and powerful place. But most of those pilgrims never returned. The desert took them, through heat, hunger, and time. Only their shrines, statues, and skeletons remain now, standing like shadows under the sun. Wanderers still pass through these ruins. Some leave offerings, some whisper prayers. Others feel only silence. And yet, magic has not left. Augury Rock is still alive with strange energy. It's said to hold visions of the future, messages left behind by ancient heroes. If the right people come at the right time, the rock might open. and when it does, it may show the truth written in the stars. Danger beneath the beauty. But this is still the desert, and the desert is not kind. Beneath the soft sands are pockets of quicksand, hidden and hungry. Sudden floods from the river can sweep away whole paths, reshaping the land overnight. Undead patrols, remnants of Joko's army, still haunt the cliffs and waterways, hunting the living and guarding nothing. Even the forgotten, strange and ancient beings from before known time sometimes appear. Their presence is felt more than seen. Landmarks in the Riverlands. Skimmer Ranch. This small ranch near the northern riverbank is home to friendly handlers who raise skimmers, gentle hovering creatures that float just above the ground. Here, the commander learns to ride a skimmer and use it to travel across the water and quicksand. The ranch is one of the few places in the desert that still feels peaceful, but its people are always watching the horizon, wary of forged attacks. The ruins of Kesho. Hidden beneath the sands, the forgotten city of Kesho is a sacred place from long ago. It was built by the forgotten, an ancient race who worked with Glint to fight the elder dragons. Inside the city, the commander meets the exalted guardian Sadisi, who tells the story of how Glint prepared for the future. But Kesho is no longer safe. Balthazar found this place first and took its power for his forged army. Some of the enemies here are twisted versions of the exalted, once protectors, now corrupted weapons. Augury Rock. A towering magical rock formation that stands above the desert like a crown. Long ago, this place was part of the Flameseeker prophecies, a time of heroes, trials, and forgotten legends. Inside the rock is a hidden chamber filled with magic left behind by the dragon Glint and the Exalted. Today, the commander enters this place to prove themselves worthy of Glint's trust. The magic here is old and strong. When the stars align, the rock opens like a flower, revealing a space where the past still speaks. A living land. The Elon Riverlands are not just a place on a map, they are stories still being written. They hold the memories of the past, the struggles of the present, and the hope for the future. The river gives life, the ruins tell history, the dangers test the brave. Here, in this place between life and legend, the desert lives again. The commander's journey continues. After leaving the jagged cliffs of the desert highlands, the path commander travels southeast into the Elon Riverlands. This land is different from the dry dunes and rocky passes they've seen so far. Here, the Elon River flows like a golden ribbon through the desert, bringing life to the land. Wetlands stretch beneath tall trees, and the ruins of once great places lie buried in sand and time. But the commander is not here to rest. The hunt for Balthazar, the rogue god of war, continues. Earlier in the journey, the dragon Vlast, son of Glint and the elder dragon Kralkatorrik, was killed by Balthazar in the desert highlands. But his death was not the end. Vlast had left behind memory crystals scattered across the desert, pieces of his mind and Glint's legacy, waiting to be found. As the commander explores the Elon Riverlands, they begin to collect these crystals. Each one holds a message, sometimes from Vlast, sometimes from Glint herself. The memories speak of visions, choices, and the future. They speak of Oreen, Glint's second scion, and her part in a prophecy that could save Tyria. The crystals guide the commander towards something hidden deep in the desert, the ruins of Kesho, an ancient city built by the Forgotten. Following the clues, the commander discovers the entrance to Kesho, hidden beneath the sands. Inside the city, they meet Sadisi, an Exalted, a guardian from a time long past. He explains what Balthazar did after stealing powerful magic from Kesho. Balthazar has used this old magic to create even more terrible versions of the Forged, his army of steel and fire. Some of these creatures are part Exalted, corrupted from once noble beings. Balthazar's power is growing. and his march towards Kralkatorrik continues. The Exalted know that Aurene must be protected. She is not just a dragon, she is hope. Glint saw a future where dragons and mortals could live together in peace. That dream now rests on Aurene and the Commander. The Commander's journey leads them to Augury Rock, a sacred place of trials and prophecy. It was once used by heroes of old during the time of Guild Wars prophecies. Now it calls again. With Glint's memory guiding them, the Commander enters a vision trial to prove themselves worthy of carrying on her legacy. They face illusions, spirits and truths about the future. When they emerge, they are changed, not only stronger, but chosen. They are now a protector of Aurene, carrying Glint's hopes forward. With Casho's secrets revealed and Glint's blessing received, the path is clear. Balthazar must be stopped before he can destroy Kralkatorrik. If he succeeds, magic will spiral out of control and tear Tyria apart. The Commander heads south, towards the Desolation, where Balthazar's war machine continues to burn its way forward. But now, the Commander is not just a hunter or a soldier. They are a chosen guardian of Tyria's future, and Aurene is watching. A land of sulfur and shadows. There is a place in the Crystal Desert where even the air feels cursed. The ground hisses, the wind carries not just sand, but the whispers of the dead. It's a wasteland of bone, fire, and blackened stone. This is the Desolation, one of the most dangerous and haunting places in all of Tyria. But it wasn't always like this. Long ago, this land was vibrant and full of life, but then came the war in the heavens. The gods of Tyria battled one of their own, Abaddon, the god of secrets. When he was defeated, his fall shattered the land. Great cracks opened in the earth, and a foul glowing substance poured out. Sulfur, deadly to the touch. The result was the Sulfur Sea, a vast poisonous ocean of yellow and black liquid that stretches through the region. The ground around it became twisted and broken, the sky turned harsh, and the living were pushed out. What remains is a haunted desert scarred by divine anger and ancient war. The reign of Palavajoko. Many years after Abaddon's fall, a new power rose in the Desolation. Palavajoko, the undead Lich King of Elona. Joko built his bone palace among the dunes and turned the Desolation into his stronghold. He used undead soldiers known as the Awakened to guard the area and crush his enemies. Some say he even used the poisonous Sulfur Sea as a shield, knowing no army could cross it on foot. So if you find yourself deep in Awakened territory, run, for their king shows no mercy. The Sulfur Wastes. The Sulfur Sea is the most famous and feared feature of the Desolation. It divides the land, glowing bright yellow with heat and corruption. Anyone who steps onto it without protection dies in seconds. This made the Desolation impossible to cross for centuries. But in recent years, with the help of magical skimmer mounts, travelers have found ways to glide over its deadly surface. But danger remains. Beneath the bubbling acid, something always seemed to stir. Sand Jackal Run, the path of sand and shadow. Deep in the Desolation, Sand Jackal Run is a dusty canyon filled with ancient magic and danger. It's home to powerful jackals made of sand and shadow, connected to the nearby Desert Jackal Shrine. High above, at the Jinn Enclave, powerful Jinn teach those worthy how to harness this magic. Here, adventurers learn to control sand and shadow, mastering the swift movements of the jackals. The training is harsh, but rewarding. Only the skilled can call on the jackal's speed and teleportation. The area is filled with mysterious portals and traces of old magic, hinting at ties to the realm of shadows and the ancient forgotten race. Strange whispers and eerie footsteps make the run feel alive with unseen watchers. Sandjackal Run is a place of tests and rewards. For those brave enough to master the Jackal's magic, it offers freedom and swift passage through the harsh desert. Ancient landmarks. Even in all this death, pieces of history survive. Lair of the Forgotten. Hidden beneath the sands lie the remains of the Forgotten, a race of snake-like beings who once fought against Abaddon. Their lair holds magical devices, old shrines, and powerful secrets. These creatures worked to seal evil away, and their warnings still echo in these halls. The Bone Strand. In this area you can find bones scattered and even a farming village with both humans and awakened. It's a quiet place, but not without danger. The bones crackle with old magic, and strange creatures nest among them. The Bone Palace. This is Joko's fortress, built from bone, stone, and shadow. Though it once served as a center of his power in the region, it now stands empty. Or so it seems. Traps still spring, guards still patrol, and the eyes of statues seem to follow you as you pass. Secrets and Shadows. During the events of Path of Fire, the secretive Order of Shadows used the Desolation as a base to plan attacks against Joko and the god Balthazar. They know the dunes better than anyone and whisper of ancient magic hidden deep beneath the sands. Even now, strange rituals happen at shrines. Portals flicker in the distance. Some travelers swear they've seen illusions in the heat. Images of old gods, battles, or even things that haven't happened yet. The Desolation is unlike any other place in Tyria. It's not just dangerous, it's watching. The land itself feels alive, full of pain and power. But still, brave souls travel here. Some come for treasure, others for answers, and some because they have no choice. If you ever go, remember this. Stay off the sulfur. Don't trust what you hear in the wind. And never walk alone. Now we continue the commander's journey in their hunt for Balthazar. The commander leaves the Elon Riverlands behind, following the trail of Balthazar, the rogue god of war. The truth is now clear. Balthazar wants to kill the elder dragon Kralkatorrik, and if he succeeds, the magic released could destroy all of Tyria. But his trail leads into a place feared by many, the Desolation. The Desolation is a broken land, once torn apart during the gods' war with Abaddon, the fallen god of secrets. The land is scarred with deep cracks and rivers of glowing yellow sulfur, deadly to the touch. It's not easy to cross. Walking through the sulfur means death in seconds. And yet, the commander must press on. To help, the secret group known as the Order of Shadows offers their support. They know this place well. They've been hiding in the shadows, watching both Balthazar and the undead forces of Palava Joko, the tyrant king of Elona. The commander can't cross the sea by foot. They need to use the skimmer, a creature that floats just above the ground. With it, the commander can glide safely across the sulfur sea. However, the Desolation is not empty. Joko's awakened army is here, defending old ruins and strongholds. These undead soldiers fight any who enter their territory, including the commander. But they are not the only danger. Balthazar's forged army also moves across the desert, spreading fire and war. To stay ahead of Balthazar, the commander searches for more of Glint's memory crystals. These glowing shards help to tell the story of Glint, Kralkatorrik's former champion, and her plan to guide the world through the dragon crisis. The memories are meant to prepare Aureen, Glint's scion, to take on her destiny. In the twisting canyon known as Sand Jackal Run, the commander comes across a shrine guarded by magical jackals, beasts formed from sand and shadow. With the help of the Jinn at the floating Jinn enclave high above the desert, the commander is trained in using jackal portals. The Jinn, ancient magical spirits, test the commander and grant them a sand jackal mount, allowing them to blink through barriers and reach hidden places. With this new power, the commander continues the hunt. At the center of the Desolation stands the Bone Palace, once the stronghold of Palava Joko. Though Joko himself is not present, his influence remains. Inside the palace, the commander learns more about Balthazar's movement and sees signs of what's coming. Balthazar is heading into Vabbi, the last region before Kralkatorik's roost. Aureen, the young dragon, sends visions of fire, destruction, and collapse. If Balthazar kills Kralkatorik, the world could break apart. There is no more time. With the power of the Skimmer and Jackal mounts, and with the help of the Order of Shadows, the commander races east into Vabbi, determined to stop Balthazar before it's too late. The end of the path draws near, and a final battle is coming. We arrive at last in Vabbi, the golden jewel of Elona, and once the proud heart of culture, art, and wealth. But this is not the Vabbi of old. This land wears a mask of beauty over a heart of control and fear. Vabbi is made of wide open plains, sharp canyons, and grand estates. Without the river Elon giving life, the people are forced to turn to Joko for water and protection. From the moment our feet touch its polished roads, we see signs of Palava Joko's rule. The cities still shine, the gardens bloom, but the people, they smile too wide. Their eyes flicker with fear. It is a land kept in line by death itself. Now, those houses are quiet. Joko's awakened army has taken many of their halls. Statues of the Lich King line the roads. Some even bleed sand, as if the land itself cries out beneath its weight. Balthazar's presence is felt here, as the Forged have already built up camps all across the western part of Vabbi, so the people need to tread carefully when wandering from town to town. Ventendi Academy, a school in chains. High on a rise sits Ventendi Academy, once a place of learning and creativity. It trained Elona's brightest minds in philosophy, law, and art. Music used to fill its halls, and its graduates shaped Elona's future. Now, the academy still teaches, but it teaches loyalty to Joko. History is rewritten. Songs are sung only in praise of the Lich King. Even young children are taught that Joko is eternal, and that his enemies are liars and traitors. Still, some say secret knowledge survives deep inside. Hidden scrolls, rebellious whispers, maybe even teachers who haven't forgotten what the academy used to be. The grand estates and forbidden temples. In the north, we pass Vejin Palace, a grand estate turned awakened garrison. Inside are golden halls and painted ceilings, but also dark chambers filled with orders, weapons, and patrols. Joko uses beauty as bait. One must not be fooled. In the east lies the Yanur Plateau, an ancient site once used by the Forgotten, a race that served the gods. The magic here is old and still watches. When the wind moves just right, you can hear chanting echo from the rocks. North of the Ventendi Academy is the Ventendi Arena. It's a grand arena built into the ground with flowing waterfalls and stunning seats for all to watch what happens below. Here, heroes can fight for glory and to get a chance to spar with Master Utko, if they dare. In the middle of Vabbi lies the Garden of Zeborin, a huge palace-like garden that seems to be untouched by Joko or the brand. Massive towers line its borders and beautiful greenery is tended to here. It looks inviting and beautiful. However, upon further inspection, you can find several awakened soldiers here that keep the nobility in line. Under the heel of the Undying King. This land was not conquered in war, it was taken with lies, promises, and poison. Palawajoko offered protection, then demanded worship. Those who said no were awakened, turned into his eternal servants. Now, even in death, they guard the cities they once ruled. Still, rebellion stirs. Hidden allies whisper in secret. Some Vetendi scholars have vanished into the hills. The Order of Shadows sends scouts into the cities, looking for weaknesses in Joko's grip. The domain of Vabbi is beautiful, but its beauty is trapped in a cage of bone. Kralkatorrik's arrival. A huge bit of the eastern part of Vabbi has been destroyed and branded by Kralkatorrik, and many horrors await there. None may enter here, for the brandstorm kills anything living within seconds of arrival, shooting lightning through your body through every heartbeat. This must be where Kralkatorrik is hiding, which means Balthazar isn't far away. Now we continue the commander's journey in their hunt for Balthazar. The commander rides through the golden lands of Vabbi. The sun shines on the white roads, and gardens bloom beside grand estates. But beauty hides danger here. This is where Balthazar, the rogue god of war and fire, is making his final move. He is building something terrible. A giant war machine powered by fire and magic. And inside it is Oreen, the young dragon who has become like family to the commander. Balthazar wants to use her power to kill the elder dragon Kralkatorrik, but if he does, it could destroy the whole world. Time is short. The commander reaches Kodash Bazaar, where the war machine called the War Beast waits. It towers over buildings, metal glowing with heat. The air burns. The commander charges forward with friends at their side and Sohothin, the legendary twin sword to Magdea, in their hand. The battle begins. Fighting the War Beast is like fighting a mountain made of fire. The commander dodges blasts of energy, strikes at glowing weak points, and calls out to Oreen. She hears, she fights back, and when the War Beast finally falls, Oreen bursts free, wings bright with power. Balthazar is strong, too strong. His body glows like a forge, every hit shakes the ground.
I am fire, I am war, what are you?
Balthazar mocks. The commander answers, still standing. And the commander does not stop. Sohothin cuts through flame, Oreen swoops from above, and with one final strike, Balthazar falls. He does not burn out, he explodes. All the magic he had stolen from the dragons rushes into the sky. It splits like lightning and pours into Oreen, and into Kralkatorrik far away. The sky turns red, the wind howls, magic is free again, but the world has changed. Kralkatorrik vanishes into the sky, now stronger than ever. Oreen flies off, unsure of what she's become. And the commander stands alone in the ruins, heart heavy, but alive. They return to Amnoon, where people cheer and fireworks rise. The god of war is gone, but above, dark wings move behind the clouds. The war is far from over. This has been the story and lore of all the zones in Path of Fire. I hope you enjoyed this video. The zones in POF are vast and breathtaking to look at, and some of my favorite maps ever were introduced here. ANET really did a terrific job. The next expansion is End of Dragons, and its zones are really beautiful. So buckle up as we journey to Cantha in the next video in this expansion series. With that said, thank you for watching this video. Please like and comment something you thought was interesting, or something that I missed. Also subscribe to not miss future lore content in this format. Now take care, and I will see you in the next story. Goodbye.